Hey there, I'm Justin, the founder and CEO of Merchant, which is who made Paige, and I'm really excited today to walk you through how to set up Paige the most optimal way possible so that you can get more customers from Google Maps. So, what we're going to do is first log into our platform at app.localmarketingmanager.com. I'll say continue with Google, and then I'm going to pick the Google email address that manages the Google profile that I want to onboard to Paige. I'm just going to say continue and then make sure that you gave access to all of the permissions that Google needs for us to be able to do this. Say continue. And now Paige is going to bring in all the information about the profiles on this account so that all you need to do is say select profile on the one that you want to onboard. Now what you're going to do is select the product that you want to onboard. Just leave that at Paige. And it's going to bring you to the trial creation page. All you need to do is put in the credit card information that you are going to pay with and say subscribe. And the first thing that Paige is going to do is read your website to learn all about your business so that it can tailor everything that it does around your business so that it doesn't just look like it's generic AI content. It's then going to suggest a lot of things for you to do so they can then start to automate everything for you moving forward. So I'm going to say continue with setup. And it already has my business logo from Google. If it didn't pull yours in, then you can just go and add it here. I would suggest uploading one that has a transparent background that is in a horizontal layout. So something like a rectangle is going to look best throughout the application. I'll say continue. Next, it's going to suggest the different keywords that you might want to try to rank for. And it's really important that you think about the most important things that you offer in your business and pick keywords related to that. So, for example, we offer, in this scenario, SEO services. We're an online advertising agency. We're a digital marketing agency. And maybe we also want to get found when someone looks for a marketing consultant, right? That's not really what our business is about, but for this example, I'll put that in. But let's say that you knew what were already, and they weren't in this list. What you can do is just put in your own custom one. So for us, it's going to be GBP management software, and for the ones that provides, they'll tell you how difficult it is to rank for it, and also what the expected average search volume is for these keywords. So you want to make sure that you're trying to optimize your profile for keywords that actually have high search volume. Because if you try going for keywords that have very little, creative strategy, for example, you're just not going to get that many customers. So it's easy for a reason. So definitely stick with the harder ones, even though it means it's going to be longer until you actually get your results. So once you're happy with your keywords, and I'm just going to cut this down to ones that I actually care about. So I'll throw in AI local SEO software, and I'll also okay, now that I have the ones that I actually want to test with in here, I'm going to say continue. And the next thing that Paige is going to do is ask you to set your important cities. And the reason why we say that you should limit it to around 3 is because Paige is going to add these cities to the ends of all of your keywords when writing content. And so if we only really wanted customers from Santa Monica and Los Angeles, we would leave it there. Or if we also wanted from Venice, California, we would do it here. Remember, Google wants to show hyper local businesses. So make sure that you don't make this too large of an area, because if you try to go too large, you probably won't rank in any of them. So keep this to just your immediate area if you can. And then select the area that you'd like to audit. And so this area here is where you want our before and after heat maps to be taken. Also, this is where we're going to geotag your images as you upload them so that you can start to get more customers from this area. And similar to setting the target cities, you want to make sure that you set this to be as small of an area as possible while still covering where matters for you. And the size that you set this to is going to depend on where you're at in the city, how big of a city it is, and how far customers might be willing to drive to you, or you willing to drive to customers. And so play around with the audit area size, and then you can click this red pin in the middle and drag it to the perfect area so that it actually covers where you want to get customers from. So remember, keep it as small as possible, only expand it if you really need to. The larger the area, the harder it's going to be to see the results, because it means that all the audits need to be spread a lot further out. Okay, I'm going to say continue. Now, what Paige is doing is reading everything on your profile and going to suggest changes for you to make based on what Paige sees working the best. So, something that's really cool is that in the background, Paige is managing thousands of Google business profiles, and it's always looking to see why certain profiles are ranking at the top and other ones are not, so that it can make recommendations based on what you're currently doing so that you can match those top performing Google profiles. So definitely listen to what Paige is suggesting, and I'll show you how you can keep doing that as we go through the setup. All right, so first thing it's doing is saying, here's your current description, and here's Paige's recommended one based on the target keywords that you set and the areas that you said were important to you. If you're happy with this, what you can do is say approve, or if you're not happy, you can say ignore. I'm going to go ahead and approve it. The next thing is it'll show you your existing services as well as ones that you might want to add. So you can see we have a lot of services already on our profile, but this is a good opportunity to go and clean them up. So maybe you don't do certain services anymore. What you can do is just delete those ones off your profile. And then if you don't have enough, Paige is going to go and suggest more ones for you, where you can just go and similar to here, delete the ones you don't like. And then Paige is going to write these service descriptions for all of the services that don't have them yet. So you can see for us, there are quite a few services that don't have descriptions yet. So if you want, you can go through all of them and make changes, or you can trust that Paige wrote them in an optimal way. So if you're happy with it, you can just say approve all. The next thing that Paige is going to do is help you clean up your attributes. And so what you want to do is go through these and make sure that that everything that you can possibly enable is enabled for your business, so that Google can just show more and more options to the customers that are searching for these types of things. So once you're happy with it, just say save. And Paige is actually directly making these changes on your Google business profile as you say save or approve. There's nothing that you need to copy and paste back and forth. We're directly integrated with Google. So whatever you change here automatically will go and update on your profile. Next, they'll ask you to clean up your social profiles and add your texting number if you want that, your WhatsApp, your socials. And then here it's going to show you different reviews and why you can flag them with Google. And just so you know, when you signed up, all of your bad reviews went to our team, who are going to flag them with Google to try to get them taken down if they're negative. And then ongoing, if you get a negative review, our team is going to go and flag them with Google to try to get them taken down if they're not positive. It's not anything that you need to worry about doing, but if you also flag them for the reason that Paige suggests, it'll help you get it removed as well. All right, so next thing Paige is going to do is show you 5 of the latest reviews that you have not replied to yet. If you want to, you can have a look at them and see what Paige suggested and make any changes that you want. And then you can approve each one or ignore each one. But if you're happy with everything Paige did, then just say approve all, and Paige is going to go and reply to all of these reviews. And then every day it's going to reply to an additional 5 reviews for you. So we don't reply to hundreds of reviews at once. To make it more natural looking, we'll do 5 a day. But if you say ignore all here, what Paige is going to do is basically say, okay, this user does not want to reply to any old reviews, so we're not even going to ask them about them again. So if you don't want to reply to these right now, then just skip this section, and then Paige will remind you later. And then next, it's going to look at the questions on your profile and see if there are any that you didn't answer yet, and then help you answer them. So I'm going to say save and start automation setup, but make sure that you take the time to actually go and fill out all those sections and make sure that you're happy with how it all looks, so that you don't have to go back and do it again later. The next thing that it brings us to is the automation section. And so here's where Paige can automate a bunch of things for us, including uploading images and videos to the Google profile, writing, scheduling, and publishing Google business posts or updates, replying to your reviews, asking questions and answering them, creating videos and publishing them. It can serve as your account manager, which I'll show you. It's a really cool feature. And it can also send reports to you or whoever else you want. And so the first thing we're going to look at is this upload image section. So with all the automations where there's a frequency element, you can say exactly how often you want that to happen. So you can say, you know what, I want Paige to upload a new image every single day. Or what you can do is trust Paige. And that basically allows our data scientists to figure out the best frequency for you to do every action. And so if you're not sure what the best thing to do is, then leave it on trust Paige wherever you see this box so that we can figure out the best frequency to do everything for you. And we find that when someone leaves trust Paige enabled, they tend to rank much better. Okay, so you have a couple different ways that you can get images into the Paige platform. The first is by using our image upload link, which basically, here, I'll show you what that looks like now. So I'm going to click on this link. And it's password protected. And the purpose of this is so that you can send it to your team and have them all upload images. So if you are an HVAC an HVAC contracting business owner, and you have 15 field reps, you'd give them all the link and say, hey, everyone take a picture today and upload it. Or if you're a marketing agency, you would give this to all of your clients and tell them to give it to all the reps. And so once I unlock this, you can easily upload images to it. And I have a little video that I'm going to show you about how this works. So from your phone, here you'll put in the password. You'll then click upload images and you'll select where you want to upload that image from. Next, it's going to optimize the image that you selected. So I didn't show you dragging one in, but here what it's doing is it's analyzing the photo to see what it's about. It's then looking to see where you want to rank, and it's geotagging that image for that area. So it's picking a random place in that area if you're a service area business, or it's just using your address if you have a physical address. It's then writing a meta description for that image that uses your target keywords and explains what this image is about. And then it's also renaming the file using those keywords. So it really just optimizes this image greatly for SEO so that you don't have to. Okay. So that's the image upload link. The next thing that you can do is just drag and drop them into our platform, nice and easy. So again, you just hit browse and then drag and drop them, and it's going to optimize them in the way I just said. And then the next way is you can integrate through Google Drive. So you can easily pull them in from your Google Drive. And we have an integration with Company Cam. So if you or your clients are contractors and you use the Company Cam platform, as you add images to that tool, Paige will automatically get them, optimize them, and then use them. Okay, so I'm going to add some images here. All right, so I just dragged some images in here, and Paige is going to optimize these now. It's asking for a minute or two so it can go and do this, but usually it happens in just a couple seconds. I just upload all the same images. What you want to do is make sure that you add images that represent your business. And these don't need to be fancy. They just need to be taken, from a cell phone and kind of represent the business in one way or another. And if you click on one of these, you'll see exactly how it helped to optimize it. So one, it used our target keywords to explain what this image is about. It then geotagged this image for somewhere that we're trying to rank for. And then it also wrote a meta description that uses our target keywords inside of it while still explaining what is in this image. So, it optimizes every area of this image file. So I'm going to say save and continue now. And there's also, you might have noticed there are these three buttons. So for every for every image that you upload, you can choose if you want it to be used for posts, if you want it to upload to the media section, and if you want it to be able to be used for videos. You can also download it or delete it if you don't want it used anymore. But when you onboarded, if you already saw that there were images here with this not checked off, it means that we pulled that image from your Google profile already. And because it's already in the media section of your Google profile, we're not going to upload it again. So you can just leave that unchecked. But usually when you upload a video, all three of these are going to be selected by default because we assume you want us to use it for as much content as possible. So I'll say save and continue. And now we're on the automate posting section. And this is where, again, you can trust Paige for the frequency, or you can say, nope, I know what I'm doing. I want to publish a new post every single day. Or I want to do it less often. So you can fully customize everything, or you can just say, nope, I trust Paige to make this decision. And then we also have this concept of train page. And what this is used for is training us on how you want things to happen or how you want the content to be written if you don't like the content that Paige is writing, or if it's not really understanding your business based off the information on your website. So in a perfect world, you're not touching any of this. It's actually pretty rare that users even need to train Paige. But let's say that it writes all the content and you didn't like the style, or maybe you wanted to add a hashtag in all of them. What you could do is say, your post must end using hashtag best marketing tool. And this way you can kind of customize exactly how Paige is going to write content. So here I'm going to save this training note. And it's asking how we want the images created right now. So you have a couple different options. If you're comfortable with AI images or not, you might choose to only use the images you upload. Or if none of those are available, can it use the images that are already on your Google profile to create content for posts? And then the third option is, if none of that is available also, can Paige use AI? I would probably leave this one enabled just to make sure there's always content being used or images being used for your Google business posts. But it's fully depends on your comfort level with AI. And I'll show you what some of them look like. The next is the image style. So do you want to brand all the images, or only use the raw image, or just brand some of them? I'm going to say just brand some of them so you can see what I mean. But basically, the branding feature means it'll put a call to action, text, and your logo on top of the images. So for some of these call to actions, I'll say call us today. And then I'll add a custom one that says get free audit. And I'll add another one that says rank number one, and maybe one more to say, actually, I'll just leave it there. All right. Next is the approval. So do you want to approve content, or do you want the content to just automatically go onto your Google business profile without you or someone on your team, or possibly a client, having to approve it? And over 80% of users turn approval off, meaning nobody needs to approve the content. It's just going to automatically generate over and over again, and schedule and publish all automatically, which is best to do if you're too busy to approve things, because the content is just generally very good. We have I think it's under a half of a percent, or a half of a percentage. So a quarter of a percentage of content ever gets changed. So yeah, very, very few people actually edit the content. You can also say, I only want to approve the content if it uses branded or AI generated images. So you can make sure that those harder ones to get right are getting some approval. So I'm just going to put this on yes for the example. If you want, you can say, I don't want to approve this content, but I want person on my team or my client to get this email, in which case you can put their email address in there. And then if you don't want this to show up, like these approval tasks to show up in your feed of things you have to do because your client's responsible, then you'll just uncheck this so that it doesn't clog up your tasks. Okay, the next thing that I want to point out is that we can also connect to your Facebook and Instagram pages so that you can send all of your Google business posts to Facebook and Instagram as well. So if you want to do this, you can connect to Facebook if you are an admin, or if you don't have access to a company page or your client's page, you'll just click this invite link. And what it does is generates a link which you can send to your client or someone else on your team, and they just log in, and will have the option to give this platform access to their Facebook page, and then separately their Instagram profile, so that you don't have to mess around with getting access. It just makes it a whole lot easier. Okay. Next, Paige can also publish reviews as posts from time to time, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So now that I'm happy with these settings, I'm going to say save and generate. And Paige is going to now go and create the first set of 5 images to show you what you can expect the content to look and sound like. So Here we can see the first one that it created was it used a review, so a 5-star review that we got where the person just said excellent. This is their name. And you can see the post is talking about this 5-star review we got using our target keywords and mentioning the target cities. And because we use that trained page to say end the post by saying hashtag best marketing tool, it went ahead and did that, right? So listen to those instructions. You can see this one is set to go out today. This one is set to go out a couple days later, a couple days later, a couple days later. And because we have the branding options on, you can see here it put our logo on and then one of the call to action texts that we added. So here you can see this is a different design and call to action. And then this one, it didn't use any branding because it was choosing randomly whether to brand them. And again, it's following these instructions. And so you have some options of what you want to do here. So one, let's say that you wanted to change the image to this. You have that option to say change image, and then you can pick any of the other images that you've uploaded to your profile or ones that are already on your Google Business profile. So what I'm going to do is just select this one, and it's going to change it. And I could also now have it rewrite this entire post. Maybe I change the image entirely to a whole different thing, and you want this post to represent whatever this new image is about. You would want to rewrite it so that it matches, right? Paige is never going to show a picture of a hamburger and then talk about a salad. It knows exactly what the picture is, so that it knows what to talk about, which is a really cool feature. And then it also has holiday awareness. So let's say that you need to change the date of a post. I'm going to set this one to be due on May 23rd. Now I'm going to rewrite this post. And because May 23rd is so close to Memorial Day here, it's now going to mention Memorial Day in this post. So as major US holidays get closer, it's going to then write about those in the post just to give the content more of a seasonal feel, again, being super specific to your business. You can also edit the post text, rewrite it fully, change the call to action. So instead of this saying more, it can say something else. You can also create a new image. So maybe you wanted an image with AI, you can say create new image, and this will show you what they look like. And I'm going to show you what you can do if you don't like how the images are coming out if you're using AI. Okay, so this looks good actually. For our business, it's someone holding a phone looking for a business on Google Maps. And it created that based on the information in the post itself. But let's say that you want all of your AI images to look a certain way. You can actually train Paige on images as well. So if I wanted all of my images to show somebody eating a hamburger, I would say, make a picture of someone eating a hamburger. And now Paige is going to listen to this training note for the image and always make someone that's eating a hamburger when it needs to create an AI image. And the same goes for any content that Paige creates. So I'll show you more examples as we go. So I'm going to say save and continue. And the really cool thing is Paige is going to create, schedule, and publish this content on autopilot. You don't need to come back in here and do anything. Paige is just going to do it all for you. The next thing that we're going to set up is review management. So Paige can either automatically reply to all of your reviews, or you can say, come up with a review reply, but ask me for approval first. That's what this middle option does. But if you don't care to reply to your reviews, you can just say fully automated, but most people will say AI with approval required for 1, 2, and 3-star reviews. And then for 4 stars and 5 stars, AI can just fully handle them. Like I don't care to review those myself. Next is setting up the approval alert. So, who needs to approve these for the ones that are going to need approval. And again, you can have that go to yourself, or you can put in, different people's names, and you can put in, emails, and you can put in multiple ones, comma separated, like that. And the really cool thing is you can train this to sound exactly how you want. So for review replies, maybe you would say, if the person is unhappy, end by saying, please call and ask for James to make things right. And if the person was very happy. Thank them and ask them to come and say hi soon. Like whatever you want to happen in these reviews, you would just write it like naturally, like you were instructing someone on your team. Okay. And let me show you what this process looks like as well. So when you have approvals turned on, you or whoever you put uh, in that approval box is going to get an email that looks like this. So this is a white label version, and I'll get into how the white labeling works for marketing agencies a little later. But we use a fake agency called ABC Agency, for examples, and we changed our business name to capital MER Chant as a nickname, and I'll show you that also and why that matters. But here you can see that this user got an email that says, merchant just got a 5 out of 5 star review. The review says, merchant is a fantastic tool to enhance your company's profile. Highly recommended. Love that. Thank you. And then Paige's suggested reply shows up here. Thanks a ton for the awesome review, Ryan. I'm glad to hear that merchant is making a positive difference for your company's profile. Appreciate the recommendation. And then and that was based on just naturally what we program Paige to reply with, but you can also edit how it responds if you don't love that style. And then I'm going to show you now what the approval process looks like once they get that. So once they get that email, which you're seeing here, they just have to click approve or edit, and they don't need to log into anything to action this. It's just going to bring them to a screen that shows them the review again and their suggested reply. You can edit it or regenerate it. So in this example, I regenerated it so you can see the new one. And then once you're happy with it, you just say approve, and then it's going to go to Google. And typically, it's about 20 minutes between when the user leaves the review on Google and when you get that email from us letting you know that you got the review and here's our suggested review reply. And then another couple minutes for that to then show up on Google. Often it happens before Google even tells you that the review came in. So it's very fast. Okay, so I'm going to just change this back to me and say save and continue. And let's say that you want to shut off an automation for whatever reason, you can just toggle this off here. All right, so I'm going to go to Q&As. Again, you can train Paige on how to do Q&As. You can set the frequency yourself. And then here for approvals, do you want to approve it? If so, who is going to approve it? And I'm going to say save and generate. And now Paige is going to create the first 3. And Paige reads all of the questions on your profile to make sure it's not asking duplicates. And it's also going to ask questions based on things that it already knows about your business. So again, it read your website. It knows everything it needs to about your business. So it answers like in a very highly specific way. So here you can see them. And if you're happy with them, you'll just say save and continue. And you have some options to customize these, but you really shouldn't have to. And you can see here, they're scheduled in the future. So I'll say save and continue. Now, the next thing that we're going to set up is the video. And now I'm going to say that I want these videos to go to both Google and our YouTube channel. Google is automatically connected because we're already integrated with Google. So there's nothing you need to do there. For YouTube, similar to Facebook and Instagram on the screens I showed you before, you can say connect and then log into your YouTube channel as long as you are the owner of it. Or you can send that invite link to somebody so that they can grant the platform access to post. Okay, next you have to say if you want to approve it, and if so, who. And then let's set the starting screen title. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to be rank higher today and rank on maps and GMB software. So just something that explains your business. If you're in HVAC in Chicago, you'll type in like HVAC in Chicago. And I'll show you where this is going to be used in a second. Next is a ending screen call to action. So what do you want the call to action to be in this video? Is it to call for info or call us today or visit us online? In our case, I'm going to say it's get free audit. And then the voice selection, you can pick from one of 6 voices. And you can hit this button to hear a preview of it. And if you select a couple, then Paige will rotate between them. And I'm going to say save and generate. And now what Paige is doing is grabbing images from our system that we already uploaded and then creating a video based on everything that it knows about the business and the target keywords And so what we're going to do is just hang tight. It usually takes about 30 seconds to generate this. And then I'll show you how we can edit it as well. Okay. So what it did was grabbed all of the content from our profile and website and created this video. And I'm going to show you how you can edit it, because if you have old images on your profile, you'll probably want to change them in case they don't look great. Great. So let me hit play, and you'll see what I mean. So I don't think you're able to hear this audio right now, but basically, it's going to stitch together a bunch of images. And if you're using graphic designs, it usually doesn't look great because it doesn't know where to crop it. Whereas if you're using images, it'll look much better. So, and then here you can see this is the description that it wrote for your business, which is very helpful for ranking. So here it's going to link out to your website. It'll include your phone number, your address, and your Google Business Profile link. This brings all of the SEO benefit of this video to your website and your Google profile. And Google gives a lot of SEO authority to videos. So you might wonder, why did we make videos for a Google Business Profile Management platform? And the answer for everything we do is because it helps you rank higher on Google. All right, so let's say you don't love this. You can hit this pencil icon here, and you can change anything on it. So here, I don't love how it's using this logo, so I'm going to get rid of it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get rid of everything. You can see it uses the first image here on the left. So let's get rid of all of these. And instead, we're going to say add an image, and then we're going to browse. Okay, so I just dragged a bunch of images in there. And the reason that I'm dragging real images in right now is because this looks better when you're using real images instead of graphic designs. Um, so I'm actually going to use those ones instead of just selecting the ones that are already uploaded to our profile. And here you can see they showed up here and they were pre-selected. So I'm going to say save and continue. And now to order them, what I'm going to do is just click on them. So I want this one to be the first one, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and you can do up to 10 images. The more you do, the better it's going to look. All right, and you can see it use that first image as this one here. Um, and if your business does have real images, like most home service companies and retailers will, then you don't have to go through this process because it just gets it right the first time. And then this is where you can change the video title. That'll go to YouTube. The video starting text. So here where it says rank higher today, you can always change this. Maybe you don't like this anymore, or you want a smiley face or whatever it might be. You can make that change, and then you can always change this. And so now that we updated these images, what you can do if you want is also change the voiceover script. So if you didn't like what it said, you can always regenerate it or just edit it. But now basically, Paige is going to take these new images and stitch them together to make this video. So I'm going to say save, and I'm going to say play. Oops, I'm going to bring this back. Okay, and now it's using the newer version, which just looks a lot better. So you can see here it better crops like real images and graphic designs. Cool. So definitely play around with this. Videos are incredibly helpful for rankings. All right. So next we're going to say save and continue. And this is where we get to the account manager side of things. So Paige is an incredible account manager because she doesn't let you fail. She's going to be really annoying if you're not doing what you have to do. And so some examples here are going to be getting emails for yourself or someone else on your team that's responsible for doing things, or a client as an example. So if you're not getting enough reviews, or you're doing a great job getting reviews, or you're running low on images, or a change was made on your profile and you want to be alerted, you can have these kinds of things get sent anywhere. And so what I want to do is show you some of these examples. So one, you saw the review reply email already. The second one is a weekly progress report. This is where it's going to show you, or a client or someone on your team, all the work that was done in the past 7 days and what's going to be done in the next 7 days, just showing that a lot has happened and giving you complete visibility into the work being done. Next is it's going to let you know if you need to upload more images. So as you've seen so far, images are very important for the content that Paige creates. It's not essential, but it definitely will help you rank higher. And so if Paige is running low on images, it can send somebody on your team or a client an email letting them know how they can upload them, which I already showed you. If a post is requiring approval, they'll get an email like this. If a Q&A needs approval, it'll look like this. If you or a client is getting a lot of really good 5-star reviews, then it's going to congratulate you and also share some ideas on how you can get more reviews. Same goes for if you haven't received a review in a while. So in this case, merchant didn't get a review in 6 days. I know, shame on us. It sent an email out that says it's really important that you get a new one at least every 5 days. Please try to get one in the next 24 hours. Here's your review request link, and here's some ideas based on your type of business so you can go and get reviews quickly. So Paige really does not want you to fail and is going to really be annoying until you do everything that's needed because you're using this for a reason, because you want the results, and Paige is going to make sure you get them. And then also when progress reports are due or are ready, it's going to send this email saying, hey, your report's ready, go and view it. All right, so moving right along. For the reporting, you can say where you want those monthly reports to go. And again, you can have that go to you or directly to a client, or you can BCC yourself if you have it going to a client. You can say what day of the month you want the reports to be sent on. And the way this works is by default, they're going to go out every 30 days starting today, right? So when you signed up, Paige took a baseline of those target keywords so it could show you where you're currently ranking for each of them. And then every 30 days, it's going to take a refresh of them to tell you, this is how you're now ranking based on all the work that was done. And so you can leave it at every 30 days. That's the most common. Or maybe you're a marketing agency and you need all of your reports on a certain day of the month. You can go in here and set that to automatically run on that day every single month. And you can also decide which metrics you want to see, only the positive ones or all the metrics. And then once you're happy with that, you just say finish. All right, so that is it for the automations, right? Paige is now going to completely do everything that's needed to optimize your profile that it can do on its own. So what it's going to now show us is how to get the most out of our review tools. So I'm going to say continue, and it's showing me a couple things. One is here's our review request link. So Paige comes with a link that can be sent to all of your customers that asks them how their experience has been. And it's also mobile responsive. So it looks really good on mobile. Your logo will show up here and your business name will show up here. And then let's say that our customer said that it was excellent. We have a feature called suggested reviews, which you can keep on or turn off. It's up to you. But it's really helpful for local SEO because if someone was to search for your keyword, Google is actually going to show the businesses that have those keywords in their reviews. So like one of the most important things you can do for your business is get your keywords in your reviews. And this tool does that. So I'm going to go ahead here and, you know what, actually, let me bring up a different, like an actual example. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here's an example of the review request link. And if you're a marketing agency, don't worry, this will have your logo instead of ours. And so here, if I say that the experience was excellent, it's going to ask your customer, what did you like the most? And I'm going to say that they were very professional. And what Paige is going to do now is quickly write a review that uses their target keywords and explains how professional this business was, which makes it really easy because now all the person needs to do, their customer needs to do is click this button. It's going to copy it on their device and then redirect them to that leave a review box on their Google profile so that now all their customer needs to do is hit that 5-star and paste in the review. And you can see this is an amazing review. And then all I say is post. There's a couple other cool things you can do in here. Let's say that you wanted to track which of your employees are getting the most reviews for your business. What you can do is change this link at the end, putting question mark rep equals, let's say Timmy is the name. So you would give Timmy this link to give to send to the people they helped. And then here, if I say again that they were very professional, you can see here that it mentions specifically Timmy who helped us, blah, blah, blah. And so it'll put your employee's name inside the review so you can track who's actually helping get these 5-star reviews for your business. And then let's say you want to take it a step further and you want to send these links specific for each service. what you could do here is instead of saying rep, you can say service equals, and let's say carpet cleaning. What this is going to do is make it so that the suggested review is talking about carpet cleaning. So here you can see, they're particularly impressing him with their detail attention to cleaning our carpets. Right. So if you offer many different services and want these reviews to be specific to the service each customer got, then just make a couple of variations of this and send the right one. And you can also include the rep's name too. So if it was James who did the carpet cleaning, you can include both the service variable and the rep variable so that when they click on this, it mentions both James and the carpet cleaning. So carpet cleaning here and then James. All right, but now let's say that something went sour and they were going to leave a bad review. When they click OK or bad, by default, it's going to ask why they're unhappy so that you can follow up directly with them instead of them leaving a review, hopefully. But they can always click this go to Google, which keeps us compliant with Google's gating policies. And you can control what happens with all of these smile faces as well. And I'll show you that in a minute. Okay. Something else I want to point out is that you can also use a QR code, which we give you to put it on your clipboard or put it around your business so that people can scan it when they engage with your business and can easily leave you a review by scanning a QR code. And then lastly, we have an integration with Zapier so that if you wanted to, you can have whatever software you use right now to manage your customer communications, tell Paige when it's ready to send someone an email to ask them for a review, and then Paige will send that review request. All right. So what I want to show you first is actually going back to reviews. If you want to, you can change where all these buttons went. So you can change, where excellent goes to a custom URL like your website or, any other review platform if you want, although we really suggest using the custom URL. And if you don't like the topics that Paige is suggesting for those reviews, then you can go in here and change these, right? So if you didn't like that it's saying creativity, you can go in here and change it to price or convenience or whatever you would rather it say. Or if you didn't want Paige to suggest these reviews at all, you can just shut off this feature. And then when I go to it, instead of clicking on, instead of asking what they like the most, it'll bring you to the leave a review box on the Google profile. I'm a manager of this one, so that didn't show up, but otherwise it would have brought you to where you can write a review. Okay, the next thing that I want to point out is you can embed a lot of content on your website. So if you go to merchant.com/page-widgets, you can see that Paige actually gives you a few widgets that you can put on your website. And so here, these are taking your recent Google Business post that Paige creates and can put them as like a slider on your website, kind of like a recent blog posts. Here it can show your most recent 5-star reviews. And it can also create a image gallery that shows the images that you've uploaded. So just using the content you're putting into Paige to make your website come a little more to life. And you can find these codes around Paige. So if I click embed reviews on your website, it'll give you the code to put in the head and the body section of your website so that you can show this where you want it to show up. If you want to do the same for images, you would just go over here, say images, and this is where it'll show you all the images that you uploaded so that you can edit them. So, for example, I edited all of these ones and don't actually want them. I'm going to just delete them. And here you can see embed images on your website. Similarly, you can take this code and embed these. And then for the posts, if you go back to automations, you'll see there's this option here that said embed local posts on your website. Okay. So let's say that you wanted to make a change to any of the information on your business. What you'll do is click on businesses. And then all the businesses that you onboard to Paige are going to show up here. If you wanted to add another business to your account, like another Google profile that you add or that you manage, you can say add a business here. And it's going to ask you which one. And let's say that you manage Google business profiles on multiple Google emails. You can click this button here and say add another account. And this will let you connect a second Google account to your Paige account so that you can manage all of your Google profiles, no matter which Google email manages them, in a single Paige account. But let's say that I want to make some changes. I can go to view details. and I can see that, okay, I want to change these target keywords or add new ones, or I forgot an important city, or like I'm no longer operating in Venice. You can make these changes here, but I don't recommend making changes for at least 6 months. The reason for that is because it takes time for Paige to realize that your business is focusing on this keyword, and so if you change it before they reward you for all that hard work, you're basically always chasing a new keyword, and never actually ranking higher. So for the first 90 days of using Page, it's really Google's really judging you on whatever you're doing before Page. It's not until around month 4 to 6 that they're really now understanding your business based on what Page is doing, and that's when you're going to see the biggest increase in your rankings. A lot of businesses will see ranking increases sooner, but it's usually around month 4 to 6 where like the big improvements start to happen. Okay, let's talk about the profile optimization. This is important because a lot of people will look at this number and say, "Oof, that is low." But actually, 80 is considered very good. So don't think too bad about this. Also, your automation score. This is just showing you how many of the automations you have enabled. If you remember it, I turned off the review reply one. And you can also change the audit area if you set it to be too large or anything else. But again, I wouldn't suggest changing this because whenever you change this pin, it makes us reset the baselines, which means that we're not able to really analyze the data sufficiently for your business to make a lot of changes. So it'll definitely slow down what we're able to do for you. If you have to make a change, of course, do it, but I wouldn't recommend it. And then you can see all of your trained page notes here, so you can make changes in one place. All right, so a really cool feature inside Page is the ability to see why you might not be ranking that well, so you can make some changes. And so if I click on this, Page is going to quickly do an audit of our Google profile and tell us why it thinks we're not in the number one spots yet, based on it analyzing millions of data points. Um, and so keep in mind, we just onboarded this one from scratch, and we set random keywords, which is why. But here, what it's telling us is that we failed to get a sufficient number of reviews. And when it says, "I need your help," that means that's not something that Page can automate for us, right? All the things that Page can automate, like uploading images if they're provided, or publishing posts or asking questions, like that'll all sort itself out in time, and we'll say like, "I'll take care of this for you." But if it says, "I need your help," it's because like it needs you to do something. Here it says that the review keywords, 0% of my reviews in the last 90 days had those target keywords in them. So if I just use that review link that I just showed you with suggested reviews on, I'll start to get more keywords in them. In the past 90 days, my average rating was a 4.88 out of 5. The goal is 5 out of 5. I haven't approved all the tasks yet, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I haven't connected to Facebook and Instagram. So like our Facebook and Instagram pages are not populated, which Google will pay attention to. And then also I haven't turned on the Citations add-on, which I'll show you as well in a minute. So these are the reasons why I think that we're not that optimized. And so now like I should focus on these areas. And then also I'll want to go through here and make sure that I've sufficiently done everything that we need to do, and that I'm happy with all of the edits. Or rather the suggestions that Paige is making. All right, so let's get out of this optimization tab. But definitely, if you're ever not ranking as quickly as you want to, then definitely have a look at this area. So let's have a look at reports now. What it's showing at the top are the metrics from Google. So the number of views on Google search, the number of phone calls that we've gotten in this period compared to the previous period. And if you hover over them, you can see the reporting dates and the website clicks. So you can see things are looking pretty up for us in the trailing 3 months. You can always change these to be whatever time period you want. And then also as reports generate, you'll be able to see the links here, but plus they'll also get emailed to you or whoever you set. You can also see the number of days until your next ranking audit. And then it's also going to show all the different things that Paige has completed. So for example, Paige uploaded a bunch of images to our Google business profile already. Okay, and then here it's showing the baselines for these target keywords that we set. So you can see we're already ranking pretty well for these. And if to explain what these mean is that if someone was standing right here on the planet, which is actually in the middle of a highway, so that would not be safe, and they decided to search for AI local SEO software, our business would show up number 3. If they did that same search and they were standing right here on Earth, we would be showing up number 8. And so what we want to see over time is that this continues to improve and get to be the lowest number as possible. Like one is the best possible result. Okay. The next thing that I want to talk about is citations. So Paige has a really helpful citations feature where there's no data input at all required. Basically, if you want to turn this on, you simply say get started. If you're an agency, you can learn more about the partner pricing, but I'm just going to say get started. All right. So now that we paid, what Paige is doing is taking all of the optimized information from our Google business profile and sending it to all of these directories. And the reason it's doing that is because Google is going to check all of these major directories to see if our business information is the same everywhere online. So on like Foursquare and Local Mint, Hot Frog, City Squares, Look Locally, Yellow Pages, Waze, Chamber of Commerce, all of these places. And if it's not the same, Google is not going to trust our business as much. And so we're not going to be able to show up to as many customers as possible. And so what this citation tool does is it goes and it looks on each of these directories and sees if you have a profile already. If you do, it's going to optimize it with our new optimized information. And if it doesn't exist yet, then it's going to create it for you. So there's nothing you need to do. It's just going to work this all out. And as it creates the links, it's going to show up here. And Paige is always sending new information to each directory. Like, for example, whenever it uploads a new image to Google, it's going to send that to all these directories. Or when you add a new service to Google, or whatever it might be, it's going to change that everywhere. So the most common example here is, let's say you have to change your business hours. Instead of having to log into every single directory, you just make that change in Google. Paige will pick that up and then send it to all the directories. So if you're used to managing your citations in another citation manager that makes you put the change in that tool, this kind of breaks that model. Instead, you just change Google like you're already doing, and this will pick up that change and send it everywhere. Okay, let's click over to the dashboard tab now. And we can see here the different things that Paige has done. And we can also see the things that need approval based on our settings. So if you remember, we had the approvals turned on for posts, Q&As, and videos. And so here it's saying the due date is today for some of these items, or 5 days, 11 days, 13 days, and so on. So here I'm going to review this. I'm happy with this. It looks great. So I'm just going to say, actually, no, I actually don't like using hashtags. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this text and just remove that hashtag from it. If you remember, I set up that train page note. So I'm going to say approve. Next is the Q&A. If I want, I can approve this or delete it. If you click delete, it's going to bring the next one to the top of the list. And then for the video, I'll say review. I can watch it. And as you start to approve the content, within a couple of minutes, Paige is going to start to send it directly to Google. So again, there's no copying and pasting or anything like that. It just starts to work, and you don't need to come back in and generate the content, because Paige is designed to just keep going and going and going. And if it ever needs you for something, you're going to get an email. So let's now have a look at the different settings that you can enable. So one, like I mentioned, you can use Zapier, so you'll generate an API key for that. You can also add users. So let's say that I wanted to add a new user. We'll say that their name is Jessica, last name Smith, and their email is jessica@merchant.com. What I can do here is say that they can view just this business or all businesses that I add to my Paige account ever. So like if this is like your admin person or like a partner, you might just give them access to all businesses, or if it's just a client for one business, you'll pick that one. And then you can choose exactly which tabs they can view or edit. So like marketing agencies, for example, might only let their clients edit the report tab, the image tab, and view reports, but not see any of the other tabs. So when they log in, they literally only see these 3 tabs. And what you'll do is then say invite, and then Paige is going to send them an invite. They'll give them access to the platform, and when they log in, they'll only see their information that you want them to. All right, let's talk about the agency side of things. So, if you were setting this up for your own business, then congrats, you are done listening to me for today. Paige is fully set up and running. So, like, you don't need to worry about anything. As an example, 9 minutes ago, Paige published this post to our Google business profile because we approved it. And so, for example, if we go to our Google profile and refresh it, you can see it is now showing up here. Um, so that's going to continue as I approve the content, or if I turn off all the approvals, which I recommend you do, then it'll just happen automatically while I sleep. So, if you ever have questions, then please, please, please use the live chat on the bottom left. It'll look like this when you first click it. You can see there's usually a couple people that are on there helping. We try our best to get back to everyone within 20 minutes, but depending on the volume, sometimes we struggle. But that is our goal, and we always try our best. We also have knowledge base articles that we spend a lot of time populating. So definitely go ahead and look through these ones, because you'll often get your answer. Or if you want, you can chat directly with Paige and ask a question, and Paige will quickly reply using AI to give you the answer to whatever it is that you need help with. Okay, so let's talk about the white label side if you are a marketing agency. So I'm going to go back to settings. And before we talk about the white label features, what I want to say is, if you go to billing, Paige is prorated by the minute. So if you actually onboard a client to Paige and then they cancel 3 days later, you can cancel them inside Paige by just finding their subscription and saying cancel selected subscription. And as long as you have one Paige subscription active at all times, it's going to credit all of that unused time back on your invoice so that your next invoice is discounted by that amount. So, let's just use easy numbers. Paige is $99 a month. You have two clients on, one of them cancels halfway through. That means you're going to get $50 back on your next invoice. So instead of it being 100 for that remaining business, it's actually going to be $50. So there's a whole guide on how billing works. So I would suggest looking that up. You can find that by going into here and search for help, click on Paige, and then typing in billing. But basically, the same applies for when you add more businesses to Paige. You'll get charged immediately a prorated amount based on where you're at in the billing cycle. Okay. And we do that just so that you're not on the hook if a client cancels on you, right? We really wanted to remove that fear. All right, so white label. Let's say that you want to rename brand or rename Page and have the entire thing to look like it's yours. Well, you would do that over here by going to enable. And then if your agency name is ABC Agency, you'll type that in here. And if you wanted to call Page, um, Abby for ABC Agency or whatever you want to call it, just set that, add a logo. And then you'll set the primary color to match probably your logo. So you can use this eyedropper, and then you'll set the secondary color. I'm just going to do this selector. And then here you'll set the domain that you want it to be hosted on. So ours is app.localmarketingmanager.com. You can set it to be whatever you want. So like an example, domain of ours is morty.managersocials.com. So different domain, different name, different logo, different color. So you'll just pick whatever you want here. So if your domain is abcagency.com, what you need to do is figure out what do you want to show up in front of that. So do you want app.abc.com? Do you want dashboard.abc.com or SEO or reports? And whatever you type here, it's going to give you the CNAME record that you need to add to your DNS. So if you manage your domain on Google, you'll then just on GoDaddy, you'll log into GoDaddy and add this CNAME record. Once you do that, this link will become active within about like 10 minutes. Sometime an SSL can get stuck, and it might take up to 48 hours. If it's not working for you after you add this DNS record within like 20 minutes, message us on live chat and we'll figure out why. But it just works. And then this is the URL that your clients will log in on so that they don't find out about us, right? So you'll see the main difference is it ends with -client login. So If we go here on this white label and we add dash client login, you'll see here, instead of connecting a Google account, it's going to ask them to sign in using that email and password that you created their user with. And it's all branded as this domain. Here, you'll put in the name that you want to appear as the agency, as the email sender. So we'll say ABC Agency and just say save. That's all you have to do. It's really easy. And then automatically everything that goes out to your client is going to be white labeled. So the review link, the image upload link, the reports, everything that can be branded as yours instead of ours, which is everything, will have your logo and name on it instead of ours. And it's really important that you actually go and get this DNS record set up in your domain, because the reports, for example, will be added on your domain instead of ours. And so those links won't work until you get that DNS up. If you have questions about how to do it, again, just use the live chat. And we have knowledge base articles on the DNS setup, as well as Paige AI being able to answer that immediately for you. Okay, so that's how you set up the white label. And once you do this, it's worth mentioning that you can stay logged into our domain where it's branded Page and manage your clients, and it's all still going to be white labeled for your clients, right? You would only need to go and log into your actual domain that you configured if you want everything for you to also be white labeled, right? Which doesn't really matter, because either way, as soon as you add this white label setting, all of your clients are going to be using it in the background. Cool. If you have any questions about that, let us know. So once you set it up, just log into it and see how it looks, so you can see how all the branding and all that fun stuff looks, and you can always make changes so that it matches your branding. Okay, and then once you do that, really your job just becomes going in here and making sure that you're approving all the content in time. And Paige is really designed to automate everything you need to do at your agency, including creating the content, scheduling it, publishing it, sending reports, and reminding your clients what they need to do. So I hope you love Paige as much as I do. I really am passionate, if you can't tell. So is my team. So if you find that it's cool and there's anyone that you think would also like it, please don't hesitate to click this refer a friend button. By default, or you'll immediately get sent a referral link, which you can just send to your colleagues or put online. And anyone that clicks it and signs up for Paige, you'll earn 20% of what we earn from them, because I'd much rather pay you, our customer, for helping us grow, instead of Mark Zuckerberg for more Facebook ads. So I really hope you loved everything that you saw. We're still building this thing out regularly and adding more features for you. So if you have any ideas or need help, please don't hesitate to find us in this bottom left corner right here. And thank you so much.